Welcome back. It is August 3rd and we are 10 days since the last inspection. Today is going to be a general check-in. I don't know if you can see behind me, but we have goldenrod that has started to come in. All the other fall wildflowers are starting to burst. Hopefully the bees are foraging. All right, let's start with the Italians. I've noticed a lot more activity on the Italian hive in the last few days. Let's see how much syrup they've eaten. All of it is gone. Hello, Italians. How are you? Wow. There's some bees. I don't remember. About 3 weeks ago I put these frames up here and they were drawn out but empty. 2 weeks ago they were just still empty, but I brought a couple of brood frames up in the middle. Alright, nothing being stored up here. A lot of new bees. A lot of really tiny little new bees up here. That's cool. Yeah, this frame all hatched out. Tons of new bees. Lots of just nice little tiny bees. Got a whole bunch of queen cups, swarm cups at the bottom. 4 swarm cups there. Interesting. I've never seen a swarm cell in this hive. Tons of brood. Tons of brood. All right, Italian queen just took off. Italian hive just exploding. Still no stores though. I saw just a tiny bit of honey in the corner of a couple frames here. There's the drones. See, this is the hive I remember from last fall. They're just so organized. That's all brood. Man, I wish it was June, because I'd be splitting this hive. Nothing. I mean, a little nectar. Just a little bit of nectar out here. Alright, this hive is just booming, except there's not a lot of stores. So, I've got a lot of young bees in here. 4 empty frames with nothing going on. Let's check the bottom. See if they got the stores down here. Empty. Empty, empty. Empty. Alright, there's so many bees in this hive. I've been hearing from everyone around here that we are in a dearth. We're in between nectar flows right now. Sorry. So, I mean, it's definitely a light time. I did give them a gallon of syrup. However, it's been 10 days and all this brood is hatched. So I'm sure they've used it all up. Yeah, just crazy brood in here. Brood, brood, brood everywhere. Oh, wow. Look at this brood. It's just jammed. This hive's gonna explode. Full of brood. No honey. I see a few eggs. A few. Oh, there's eggs on this frame. Alright, is she over here maybe? There's the nectar. Alright, there's 1 frame of nectar. Nothing on this side. Yeah, they need food. I think all that brood hatched, and I think the population of this hive is really young, and there's just not a lot of forage bees. Worker bees out foraging right now. And I think these bees need to mature a little bit and get out and go find that goldenrod. There's so much brood in here. I mean, it's crazy. I did not see the queen, but she may be hiding. Oh, there she is. There she is. She was hiding. She is a champ. She is a rock star. She's beautiful. She's doing great. I've never seen this many bees in this hive before. I'm going to give them another box, and I'm going to give them some syrup. There's so much brood in here. They need stores right now, and they don't have a lot of flying bees. In a week or two, these bees are going to be mature, and they are going to all be out. And that's when we're going to be in peak goldenrod and etc. So I think one more week to get them through, because there's nothing in the hive. One more week of syrup. All right, let's check the board while we're down here. 0 varroa. None. Let's add a box. All right, I have an empty box with empty frames. These are pre-coated foundation frames. They are not drawn. So I'm gonna bring a little brood up here, and we're gonna do a little rearranging. I'm checkerboarding, I'm not pyramiding. All right, so I got undrawn, drawn, undrawn. Then we'll do at the top, we'll do drawn, undrawn, the opposite way. Brood right up here in the middle. Brood. They got their brood way over on the side here. And that's an empty frame. I know you hate me breaking up all the brood and breaking up the box, but you know, it works. And there's so many bees. All right, we got brood in the middle here. We got brood in the middle on the top box. We got a ton of brood in the bottom. All right, so I checkerboarded frames here. So we have undrawn, drawn, undrawn, drawn, undrawn. And we have a little bit of nectar over here, undrawn frame, and then 3 broods in the middle. And then up here, I'm keeping the brood, and since they like to work this side of the box, I'm gonna put these frames over here, and maybe they'll move that way with some comb building. Okay, we got 2 really good frames of brood right in the middle. These are drawn frames, but they're not being used so much. And I'm gonna give them syrup. These bees are gonna explode in the next week. All right, I'm gonna cut this one short because we're losing light, and I ran out of smoker fuel, and I don't wanna go into the Russians without smoker. So, Italian hive is slamming. Queen is still in there, still laying eggs. There's more brood than I've ever seen. There's more bees than I've ever seen. And they're all little young new bees. So my analysis of what's going on here is there's not a lot of mature bees out foraging for the wildflowers that are starting to pop up. There's tons of new bees. There's almost no nectar and no capped honey. So I think the bees are hungry. So they're getting a new gallon of syrup tonight. I'm gonna feed them for another week until those new emerged bees are out flying, and I notice a lot of more activity and pollen coming in and stuff. And then they're off and running probably, you know, mid to late August. They're going to be on their own for the fall. And we have 2 good months of foraging here, August, September. And then, you know, we're getting ready for winter. I'm thinking just get this hive tall and big and fat and ready to go, lots of honey stores, and then just get them to survive the winter and start fresh in the spring. So let me know what you think in the comments, and next video is going to be all Russians. We're going into the Russians tomorrow, and that's the next video. So thanks for watching, and